Why do I like small groups? Well, I know all the theological reasons, and I know a lot of the practical reasons why small groups work. But the reason I love them, I'll have to tell you a story. A few years ago, my wife had a tubal pregnancy. We didn't know she was pregnant, and neither did the emergency room people. It took them a long time to figure it out. And by the time they did, she was bleeding to death, and they said, we need to get her into surgery right now. Well, by this time, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. And we went to a great church. I loved our church. We were in a class where we studied the Bible. We were in the choir. We were pretty active there. But there was nobody that I felt like I could call at 2 o'clock in the morning to come sit with me in the emergency room. So by the time she went into surgery, I went and sat in the waiting room. And I was so down at that point, I didn't even turn the light on. So I sat in the dark and I prayed. God, number one, be with my wife. Number two, I am alone and this is not right. I know you didn't make us like this. There's something wrong with this picture. Don't ever let me forget what it feels like to be alone. And he didn't. Shortly after that, we went to a different church that really valued small groups. And that's where we learned what life in community is all about. A few years later, it was me in the hospital with open heart surgery. And I remember sitting there the morning of my surgery thinking about my small group. It's 6:30 in the morning. These guys would be meeting at IHOP and enjoying breakfast, as we always did every week, and shared life together. But when I opened my eyes, there were 4 guys standing at the bottom of my bed at 6:30 in the morning. And I said, what are you guys doing here? And the group leader said, it was your turn to buy. Well, they spent the next few minutes sharing with me how much they loved me and how they had been praying for me. And I'll tell you, life in community is better than life not in community. And I've experienced both, and that's why I love small groups.